Hi folks, and welcome to another DIY project. Today I'm going to show you how to build a little spot welder. This one is based on using a car battery. So that's the first thing you're going to need, is a good, either new or a good second-hand car battery. The kind of power your battery is going to require, you do not gauge it on the ampere hour rating at all. It's actually the cold crank amps that you're basing the power on, which is the CCA amps, right? In the case of this one, it's a 360 amp. So anything above 200 amps is adequate, but don't go too high. 250, 300 would work just as well. This is a 360, as I say. You could get away with a bit less. I certainly wouldn't go any higher than 360. This battery itself is brand new. I bought it brand new. It cost me €68. That was it. You're obviously going to need pole connectors, 2 clamps. You're going to need a solenoid. You're going to need 32 amp strip connector, or the little plastic electrical connectors, and you're going to need some heavy gauge 16 gauge, or 16 square 16 gauge wire. Now I've also glued a little hinge to the actual battery itself. It's not screwed to it, so don't panic. There'll be no acid leaks or anything like that. It's actually glued to it. And I use a small little piece of light timber, I think it's 2x1 or something like that, planed timber, and I just sprayed it with paint to put the wire on, and that I can rise it up and down like that, depending on what I'm actually welding. You're also going to need a momentary switch, a single momentary switch. All these things are readily available. There's no problem getting any of these products anywhere, even on eBay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through how it's put together, how it's made up, and I will actually show you it spot welding batteries together. And the purpose and the requirement for one of these is so that if you want to build a battery pack, well, you need to join a whole lot of batteries together. If you have a cordless angle grinder, any of these power tools that use battery packs, and if the battery pack starts to fail on you, you can open them up. You can take out one of the batteries and weld in, using this, a new one, and away you go again. So that's the purpose of these, and the reason why you might need one. Very simple to build, very cost effective. Oh yeah, just to mention, the other things you're going to need is 2 copper nails here on the opposite side of the actual plastic connector from where the heavy gauge wire. Now this gauge wire that I'm using actually came from a power car jumper, you know, these portable units for jump starting a car. Mine was faulty, the battery was dead and the unit wasn't that good anyway, but the actual cable that came with it was pretty substantial, so I decided to use it. I had no other use for it and I didn't want to throw it out. Okay, so bear with me and let's get started, and I'll show you how this complete unit functions and how to actually go about building it. As I said earlier, the obvious first thing you're going to need is a good quality battery. Next thing you're going to need is 2 of these guys here. Now this is the neutral side one here, but there is a slight difference between the size of the 2 poles on your battery, so you need to be conscious of that. So one is marked P, the other is marked N, positive, neutral, and as I said, there is a slight difference in the size of the 2. The other thing you're going to need then is the actual solenoid or relay. Now this guy here is actually glued to the battery, and it's controlled by the momentary switch. Right? So basically you're taking a positive of heavy cable over to one side of the solenoid here. From the other side of the solenoid then you're running straight out and down along to the actual end of the connector. The negative on this side is running directly down to the connector. The momentary switch is connected across the positive. It's going directly to it, and then it's coming out the other side back down, and it's going directly into the coil of the solenoid. The other side of the coil of the solenoid is going directly to the negative. And when you press the momentary switch, you're closing the positive between here and the coil for a split second, and you get the click because the negative or neutral is there all the time. And when that happens, it closes these 2 points here and it connects the positive all the way down. So yes, in theory you are, and in practice you are shorting out the positive and negative through the little copper nails, the far end, with the nickel plate. And when the nickel plate is down on the battery and you put the 2 nails down on top of it, as I will show you, it will short out and weld. But because it's such a short time, it's a very short interval, you'll be only doing this. That's it, and it's done. So as a result, no damage happens. Battery isn't affected that you're trying to spot weld. Nothing goes wrong. Okay, so let's show you how this spot welder works. First thing you're going to need is some nickel strip, and it has to be pure nickel. Pure nickel is best and works best. Now that nickel strap is a little bit wide, so what I did was I cut a piece off and split it in half, and it gives me narrow little strips. I have 2 rechargeable batteries. If I want to connect them in series, I would have to connect the positive of this to the negative of this one. So it would end up like that, right? Now you could solder them together, but the problem with that is you're going to end up generating a lot of heat. And heat is not good for cells. It can shorten the life of them and it can damage them, and maybe in extreme cases it may blow up. Now I have the 2 nails. They're not touching each other, but they are sitting down on the nickel, which is on the positive pole of the battery. And a quick jab of the button, and we had a little bit of sparking there. And we should be good to go. And we are. And that is welded. Right? And then we put the negative of this battery down like so. And we press, and again a quick jab at the button. Oh, didn't work that time. Line that up better. And quick jab. Again we have a bit of sparking. And that's that one welded. So there's the 2 cells welded together, right? And then you do the same this end. So then you would connect the positive of this one, press tight, quick jab, away, and you'd have the positive of this one to the negative of the next battery. Keep building it up that the batteries are connected in series. And obviously if you need a 12 volt battery pack, you're going to need 10 of these because they're only 1.2 volts each. And you carry on, and that is very strong, and you could double zap them if you wanted to give them double strength, but not necessary. When you're finished, you wrap it in a shrink wrap, and that insulates it and stops any chance of it shorting out. Now the reason there's probably a little bit of sparking going on in my case is because either the two nails down here are not perfectly in line. One might be slightly higher than the other, and as you can see they're not touching each other. But also what could be contributing to a little bit of extra sparking is the fact that the battery is a 360 amp power battery, the actual car battery. So, but it is doing the job, it is welding, and they're good and strong. So, and you carry on, as I say, and build up your pack. So the positive of this to the negative of that, the positive of this to the negative of the next one, then the positive of the next one, and so on. And obviously there will be a gap between some of them in order to create the series connection. So that's it, folks. Nice little project, very simple, very cost effective, and if it's a case that you do need to weld batteries together to make up a battery pack, this is the answer. All in, I suppose it cost €80. That's about it, max. So talk to you next time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and for those of you that have, thank you, and I'll talk to you again. Take care.